Your boy went to West Africa, to Ghana. First of all, huge thanks to Bitnob for making it happen. The first week of December, I actually went for a whole week, my people. A whole week to Ghana. And it was the Africa Bitcoin Conference. It was a very fast, continental, Bitcoin-focused conference. If you've been watching this channel for quite a while, then you know I try as much as possible to show you there's a distinction between Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto world. So this particular conference was specifically just Bitcoin only, and it was from the 5th to the 7th of December, and this is just my small recap of exactly what happened in that particular conference. Have I said thanks to Bitnob? Yeah. Thanks, Bitnob. They are a really good brand that I worked with in 2022, just almost at the end, and will definitely work with a lot this year. I have already done, I think, 2 videos about Bitnob, but in this particular video, I want to give you my experience on how it was going to Ghana. Sunday was the day that I'm supposed to go there, and the flight for Ethiopian Airlines was at 5 a.m. One of the biggest issues, I think, with this particular flight was that time, that the flight is at 5 a.m. So if it's at 5 a.m., then I'm supposed to get there at least by 2 a.m. so that you finish all the preparations and all the checking out of the country and that huge banner of Kwaheri Kenya. With this one, what I actually had to do the night before, the Saturday night, I actually left the house, I think, at around 10 p.m. That was not easy, because I got to the airport, I think 30 minutes later. So by 10:30, I'm already in the airport. Check-in has not yet been opened. Even the guys for Ethiopian Airlines, the place where we're going to check in, those guys aren't in yet because they will open at 2. So I sit in the airport, Terminal 1, and wait. And I think I watched a series or something for about an hour or so. Guys started coming in. In fact, I think I was the first person to get there because I got there too early. And then at around 2, we just started checking in, cleared, and then, of course, this one video of Kwaheri Kenya, I always wanted to do. I didn't do when I was going the other trip to South Africa, so I actually wanted to make sure I'd done it in this one. We boarded at around 4. We were off, and getting to Ethiopia is about an hour, almost 2 hours. And by around 7 a.m., we are in Addis Ababa. And then I did this small video, which I'm going to show you next, when I got to Addis Ababa. I was actually wearing the tracksuit that we were given by YouTube when we went to South Africa, which is interesting. So watch that, and then we go on with the story. But we've arrived here safely. Very fast flight, by the way. Bit tired, but excited. December is starting on a good note. So we're just waiting about 30-40 minutes. The entrance towards here was, I just jumped the line because I didn't want to miss this. The Paris flight, I almost missed the return one from CDG. So I learned, if you have a faster flight, you just get out in front of it. And that's exactly what I've just done, because most of the people who are on that line getting here are not on the same flight that's leaving very quickly. So you just jump the line. I had to. But it's not a confusing airport. I don't see why people talk badly about it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm excited to be here, flying Ethiopian Airlines, and excited to see the journey towards Accra. Once we get to Accra, I'll let you guys know what is next. So Addis Ababa to Ghana, I think I got to Ghana at around 2-ish p.m. local time. The one thing I've learned, which I'll do when we do other trips, the one thing I've learned is I need to be carrying physical dollars wherever I'm going. Have like 300 or 400 or even like $500 pure cash wherever I'm going. In this trip, I'd actually put that money on a card which I was using. I was using the People card, which was actually, it still worked for me, although the ATM withdrawal fees was another problem. And then when I got there, when I got to the Ghanaian airport, there was no Wi-Fi in the airport. And I hadn't bought a line, and I didn't want to buy a line, which is another thing that I'll be doing every time I go to a different country. But we need another solution. Honestly, just temporary lines that someone can use for their stay. That would be really good, that I don't have to register to stay for the whole time. But that's another story. I needed to call Wale, who was at that time in Nigeria. I had no idea. I got to almost the exit of the airport, and I went to their help desk, and I met this lady. I remember her name is Annabelle. I speak to her and I tell her, you know what, I'm a foreigner and I need, do you guys have Wi-Fi? I cannot seem to find it. So she asked from her superior if there's Wi-Fi in the airport. There was no Wi-Fi at that time. On Sunday there was, on this day there wasn't. When I actually get there, she offered to hotspot, made sure that I got a cab. She called the cab guy because I cannot call, again because I am network incapacitated and I didn't want to use the roaming because it's just too expensive for no good reason. She made sure that had happened. Then when I went to tell her, can I say thanks? Can I give you a reward? She was like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, no, I insist. That was the first person I actually onboarded onto BitNob because of the help that she gave me. Signed her up on BitNob, got her username later in the day, said thanks, sent a few dollars to her. But I was really grateful. And then I actually went to the hotel where I was staying. Now, this place was amazing, first of all. And then it's like 2 seconds from the airport. So even if I wanted to walk back, I had no idea when I was leaving that it was this close. But even if I wanted to walk back to the airport, I would have. I got to this particular place. And in fact, I had been booked from Saturday. So initially, Wale had thought that I'm coming on Saturday. I was actually coming in on Sunday. So when I got there, the host had been waiting for me. And apparently, it's like this apartment, and then there are people who bought different apartments and then put them up as Airbnbs, and you can actually be able to book them via hotel.com, which was really interesting. It was an interesting idea to see. I got in, received very well. This first place where I stayed, you have to register, then you get in using your fingerprint, things like that. So it was really secure. They had a pool at the top floor, which unfortunately I wasn't able to use because I was so busy, because there were so many things happening. I rested a little, went down, had lunch at the cafe that was just near there. It was the only time, honestly, that I had food at that cafe because I had fries and a drink, and that was 70 cedis, which is like 700 Kenya shillings. I was like, wait, no, I am not yet that posh. That is too expensive to eat, even though I ate at other places like at KFC later in the week, but that's not the point. I felt like this was too expensive. And then I just withdrawn only 100 cedis, which was the first mistake that I did. I should have just withdrawn all the money that I needed so that I didn't have to go to the ATM multiple times. That's neither here nor there. That day, rest very nicely, got into the room. There was Wi-Fi there. Accra is about 3 hours difference from Kenya. It's a GMT. We are plus 3 GMT here in Kenya. By the time I'm getting there now, honestly, that whole week, my body did not adjust to 3 hours.